guys ready?
We're ready when everyone else is.
Good to go. All right, Pete, to talk about the acquisition of Shane Smith and the trade.
Well, let's first of all talk about Harry. Here's a player that we added to our protected list. He came in and made our team, made us better through the years he was here. Just continued to be a good player for us. So, want to wish him all the best. This trade certainly wasn't an indictment on him. It was more about the position part of the trade, and because of his play, he gave us an asset that we could do something with, and not only that, but how Smitty's played. Brady Smith, I think, has been a real big part of this too. So I think all in all, we're really proud of Harry and want to wish him all the best. Shane's one of these players, I think when you play against him, he always catches your eye. He plays the right way, he plays hard, he plays inside, he can score, he can make a play, he's got real good hockey sense. So, he's going to fit into our team so good. Top six, plus he can play any position, all three positions. So, he's going to be a real useful player for us.
I guess, Pete, how tough, could you describe how tough it was maybe through training camp, preseason, and into the regular season with the 20-year-old situation and coming up to Harry being the one that had to be traded? How tough was that decision over the last number of weeks?
Yeah, it looms, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of, it's like a cloud hanging over top of you, and you just are trying to assess your team, evaluate your team, what your team's needs are. I think from our standpoint, we like that we can have two overage forwards, and Kutch is a real important part of our team. So, and then of course with Brady Smith's play the way he's played, it basically allowed us to talk to some teams, and of course Medicine Hat were really needing to fill that void. So it really helped in making this deal come to work.
Is there any Is there any difference in a trade with a team like Medicine Hat, just with that rivalry? Does it almost make it more challenging to make a trade, or is it just business as usual?
No, it's not business as usual. It's hard. It's harder. Two things. I mean, they're our closest rival in a lot of ways, and we've had, some really good battles with them over the years. So, and of course, Willie, being a former teammate of mine, I think comes into play a little bit. And I think both teams want to feel like they're going to win the trade. I think both teams win in this case, and that's why it was probably easier for teams to do this deal because of the situation and the needs. So not easy to trade with Medicine Hat in normal situations, but I think this was a special situation.
What do you see? Where do you hope Shane fits in the lineup? What type of role do you hope he plays?
Well, he's an offensive player. I think he's proven that. So we like that he can bring some offense to our group, but he can kill penalties. He can play on the power play. As I said, he can play left wing, center, right wing. So there's a lot of moving around that the coaches can do with him, as we've done with Berard a little bit, moving him side to side. I think it gives us another threat, and maybe the coaches can look at maybe moving the top line around a little bit and see how that looks. So I think it just gives us another threat on that, a second line, you might call it, or at least in the top six.
Hot start to the season so far, sitting well in the standings, and now adding a guy offensive caliber like Shane, like you said, and getting strong goaltending and everything. How's the feeling heading into your guys' next game against Vancouver?
I think we're really comfortable where we're at. I don't think we're satisfied by any stretch. I think we, I think, the coaches have done such a great job preparing the team right from day one of training camp. It's been all about preparation and having a good start to the year. So that's basically worked out to this point. But now it's the next game, and get ready for the next game. And I think by adding another good player into our lineup up front, really, really helps this team to just keep rolling. It's a real trickle down effect. I think our top six is better. I think our middle six is better. Our bottom six is better. And so I think all in all, I think our players understand the deal. It's always hard to lose a teammate to another team, but I think our players understand the deal and understand it makes us better.
Talk about the person, Shane, as Humanitarian of the Year nominee last year. I know that always is a factor, but how much of a factor is the person, too, to making a trade?
A lot. Our guys knew him. Matt certainly has had some dealings with him, knew him as a person, so that was a big part of it. I know Willie talked about him being a potential captain there in Medicine Hat, so that says a lot to me about how Willie thought of him in the Hat, and going forward, he's going to be a part of our leadership group in some way, shape, or form, whether he wears a letter or not. But not only this year, but next year.
What do you want Brady now to do, now that he's kind of the number one guy, if you will, in the tandem with Cohen Cleaver? What kind of message does it send to those two?
Well, it certainly tells them that there are two guys, and I think it should relieve some pressure off of Brady a little bit, because he was probably thinking that he was maybe the odd man out in some way, shape, or form. Now he knows he's not, and he's going to get the games. He won a lot of games for us in the second half last year. Took a real step for us. He's proven now that he can be that guy, and also Cleaver is going to get his share of games, as you need your backup to win you some games for you to keep moving up in the standings.
How important was it to keep Cleaver up this year for his development and maybe get some more games, more than usual with the Hurricanes?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a young goaltender with the potential of Cohen, I think it's really important that he gets his reps too. And now we're down to two goalies, so that they're all going to get their reps a little bit more. But it also frees us up. We've got the affiliate goalies in Rotar and Oten, and we're excited about those guys also. So at any given time, they can come up.
Good.
Great.